What is up, guys? I'm back with a new video. Sorry it's been so long, but I've had some issues happening, so I thought I'd just bring something simple, quick, just an updated version of my Rokket deck for the 2020 format, and the new ban list. New ban list changed like two things for us. Like, actually, we needed to change because the ban list hit something, and I have moved the deck around a little bit, like with certain cards taken out, more cards putting in, just to make the deck, I guess, better in a way, to make it more of a fun deck to play and slightly more competitive, I guess you could say. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Shouldn't have to do too much explaining since we've been here before, so I'll just go through, the Rockets pretty quickly. 3 Tracer, your main card, gets everything going. 3 Magna gets the Send. The monsters, those are your only 3 ofs. Nothing changed there. Pretty much nothing changed in the Rockets. We're still doing 2 auto because you can send the spells or the traps. The 2 silver because we get to banish 1 for free. This is where something changed. We were doing 1 metal, 1 synchron, and I think 1 shell. But just through playing and testing, I just come to find out the shell just is not worth running, honestly. It just kind of, I wouldn't say that it slows down the deck. It's just not worth it. You could just use metal, and it's perfectly fine, and it opens up another space for another card without running that shell. Next is, we're still sticking with the 3 Auto Dragon. I still think it's good, especially in pure Rockets, because you're pretty much always going to have at least 1 Rocket on the field. So just about any time you're going to be able to summon your Auto Dragon, and that alone is just good enough, I think. We're still doing 2 Gateway. I thought about bumping it up to 3, but after testing it at 3, it's just not really worth it, especially with a few changes, and I'm pretty sure back-row decks might become more prevalent, and with that being a thing, I don't really want to run too many Gateway Dragons and then just not be able to use them as well as I would be able to. I know like Spiral and Orcust are still going to be running around like heroes and stuff, but the heroes don't really end on a link. Spirals, their boards are just insane going first, so that's a little bit scary. And then like Orcust, they sometimes end on a link, sometimes they don't. It just really depends, I guess. I've seen some Spiral boards end without a link and just like, an open zone, and I don't know, it's weird. We're still playing the white and the black because we're still playing, the guard dragons, of course. Consistency. We're playing the 1 red eyes. Consistency, really. Just special, just a bunch of specials. Just all the specials. We're still playing the 1 Levianeer. Still not playing the Brotar. It's kind of odd, actually. But I guess playing Brotar isn't as good. I don't know. I don't know how to put that. Since Ib got hit, I don't know how exactly to include it. But anyways, you draw the Levianeer, you get to use it. You don't draw it, you don't get to use it. It's just that simple. But just about any time that you draw it, it's pretty much good. Then I added recently a Galactic Spiral Dragon. Pretty much as long as you control 2 light or 2 dark, or a light and a dark dragon on the field, you can special summon this from your hand or the graveyard to the field in defense position and make all monsters on the field, on your side of the field, level 8. So if you're going first, you could just make like a Hope Harbinger with like a Erratic Seal at least, rather than what the board used to be whenever you're going first, was just like Erratic Seal with a Boardload Furious and a Rocket. I mean, that's at least the board's slightly better now going first. You're still wanting to go second, just OTK, Threw in a Tempest, Erratic Seal. Once you tribute it away, you could summon Tempest and just get out something with the fence. It works. It's also a level 7, so if you have like Synchron and that, you can make your Synchro 8 card. Hand traps. I'm actually just not playing 2 Nibiru anymore. I'm also playing 3 Ash. I've come to learn that incorporating at least Ash shouldn't be too bad. It really well, I should say that it's not that bad through testing. 3 ash is fine. If you're not comfortable with the 3 ash, you could probably just throw in 2 ash at least, because I'd definitely go 2 Nibiru, 2 ash. Or I like 2 Nibiru and 3 ash right now because ash, is just a good hand trap. And Nibiru is good because of Spiral and Hero and Orcust. And just those decks that are going to be spamming the board. So it's also a light, so if you draw a Levineer, you get to banish it from your grave. Spells, we're still playing the triple quick launch. What can I say? It's a free special summon. I mean, of course we're gonna play it. We're still playing the triple called. We want all of our stuff to actually resolve, so we got called to help with those hand traps. Double Dragon Shrine, sending your Obscurato, getting a Rokket, pretty solid. I mean, still playing the 2 poly. I thought about playing 2 super poly, but I don't like, I guess, opening up super poly and not having anything to discard towards like the end or something. That way, if your board does get broken and you've already used everything, you're just gonna set a super poly with nothing and pass, and yeah, you have nothing to discard. So it just, I don't know. It could be good or bad just depending on the situation, but I'd just rather stick with the poly in main and then the super poly inside. 1 boot sector launch, Striker Dragon adds it, so we just have to play it at 1. And still the 1 Monster Reborn because, well, it's a free summon from the grave that can keep your deck just going. Then, of course, we're going to move on to the extra deck. We're still playing the 1 Striker Dragon, Agi Boot Sector Launch, starts off like any of your Rocket's effects whenever they're targeted by a link. Still playing the LP and Pisty, simple Guard Dragon stuff. Playing Galaxy Satellite Dragon, easy link 2 to make. That's really it, because none of the effects is going to apply to what you're doing, really. So, Satellite Dragon, just a super easy link 2 to make if you end up using Tracer's effect. Hermetic Seal for whenever you're going first. Booster Dragon, if everything goes downhill, you have another link 2 to go for. So, yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Triple Burst is one of our link 3s because it's just good. It's an easy link 3 to go into, especially if we end up locking ourselves with Tracer, the LP and Pisty, which will definitely happen with the LP and Pisty, but not as much of the Tracer. Then we're still playing 1 Ningirsu. Well, as I should say, I'm still playing Ningirsu. Ningirsu just bouncing a card, not bouncing, just sending a card basically, is just nice, especially whenever it comes to like Avermax or BLS Link or just anything that's just kind of hard to get around usually. This just helps. Still playing the Boar Sword because he's our OTK card really. Playing Borload still because he's good. If you end up going into those longer games, you're definitely going to be going into Borload. Saruja because he can extend your combos or even make your combos better. So that's always something to keep in mind. Zoroboros because Orcust and Grimaju are still a thing. So with those two still being a thing and certain decks having to play like Desires now to keep their consistency up because of the ban list, Zoroboros is pretty good to play right now, I think. Just a really good link 4 to probably end up making and then attacking for game just because they have stuff in the banished. Still playing Furious. I like it. Just getting to send a card by getting to destroy a card just by destroying one of my own cards to then get my end phase effect off my Rockets is just nice. Not to mention that he can banish, summon a dark link from the deck, from the grave. So, I mean, that's pretty good. 1 Starving Venom, Orcus, still a thing. Hero, still a thing. So, I mean, those 2 decks being still around, it's still plausible to go into this card. So that's something to keep in mind. So I'm still keeping the Starving in here. Scarlet, I don't have Borload Savage Steel. So if you have Borderless Savage, just throw this in here. Throw Borderless Savage in here instead of Scarlet. I don't know why I haven't bought it. I don't know. But essentially, my idea behind Scarlet, since I don't have Savage, is that if it's getting close to time, I make this, get rid of any of the banished monsters, or intentionally summon some monsters to my field to then burn my opponent to close the gap for like game during time. And then finally, one Hope Harbinger, because come to find out that this card's actually pretty good and pretty easy to make in this deck, especially with the Galactic Dragon. So, side, we're playing 3 Lance. Like I said, Green Maju, Orcus, those things are still here. Crows, just interruption, honestly, for a lot of decks. The 1 Pink got limited. Just a removal card. The 1 extra Nibiru, if you need it. The 2 Twin that you'll probably end up needing, since backrow decks will become more of a thing now than they were before. So, you know, because Red Reboot went to 1, so you gotta have that backrow removal. And especially Warning being at 3, Strike being at 3, and Judgment being at 3. This is gonna be fun. 2 Super Poly. I guess the best way to explain this is I just don't have a third one. I have 2. I don't have a third one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's why I'm playing it at 2. Still 1 Dark Ruler no more. For some reason I haven't bought another one of those either. Don't ask why. I'll get to like things that you could take out to run extra of in like the side. So 1 Dark Ruler no more. 2 Typhoon for like Floodgates, which I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be running into this format. And then the 1 Red Reboot. I'm still gonna play it at 1 because, well, even with it being at 1, because that other trap isn't out yet. That's good against trap decks. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but it's basically Red Reboot but better. So till then, I'm just gonna be playing the 1 Red Reboot. So basically, if you want to run like a 3rd Super Poly, which you could do, or like a 2nd Dark Ruler no more, for instance, you could probably just take out the Crows if you wanted. Just an idea. You could probably take out the Crows, throw in like a 3rd Super Poly, and then like a 2nd Dark Ruler no more. That's what I'd probably do if y'all wanted to change it that way. So that's just something I thought I'd bring up that you guys might want to hear. So yeah, that is my Rokket deck that I'm basically going to be playing till April. Because yeah, I don't really care for much of that's going to be happening from now to April. Once April hits, there's definitely going to be a lot more entertaining stuff happening. But anyways, hope you guys liked the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.